Alrighty. Alrighty, I am live. Let me go alert everyone. Oh, there we go. That was a little strange. It was like black screen for like 20 seconds. Hello, let's talk about movies and stuff. How you doing? Let's give a little bit for people to show up. I plan on staying here for about 2 hours. So, we'll see how that goes. If anything, I could just play some games for you guys once, if I run out of things to talk about. And by the way, this is not, that's cool, man. I recently just did a video talking about that, the games that I beat for the month of October. I already beat one game this month, this ECW game for the Game Boy Color on an emulator. It plays like WWF Attitude, and it's not really all that good, but I finished it. I'm trying to see if I could beat WWF Attitude, but it's very hard to get through that game. I have my teal Game Boy Color, but I'll show it off when more people are in the chat. What's up, Welch? How you doing? Welcome, welcome. Hey, thanks, man. I really appreciate that. As soon as this video ends, I will be recording the Game Boy, my modded Game Boys again video, and um going to watch the last episode of Attack on Titan. I would talk about it now, but Hulu took forever to upload the episode, so I'm not able to talk about it. Hold on. Hey, what's up, Joshua? Still waiting for a couple more people to be here. I will say 2 more minutes. I think we'll get it going. I'm doing good. Hold on, guys. Let me just do this real quick. Alright, guys. Well, I guess we'll get this started. So, it has been a very, very long time since I've done one of these. Kind of like anime talk chill streams. I think the last one we did was way back in August. So, and I already know what happened that day, but let's not go there. That's like stepping into a minefield. So, I have been watching a lot of animes the last couple of months. I'm actually gonna let me pull up my anime list. Just try to. Because I don't know, have I talked about summer of anime? Um, and I don't think I did. So I thought I saw one more. Okay, I want Jujutsu Kaisen, Mushoku Tensei, um, Zom 100. Yep. What was the other one? Damn, man, I really was unprepared for this. Oh, Devil is a part timer. Oh, and Kengan Ashura, right? So I guess I'll start with Kengan Ashura season 2. I still to this day have no idea what the hell took them this long for them to make season 2. It was they announced it a long time ago. I think it was in 2022 or 2021. And I don't know why it took them 4 years for them to finally finally did season 2. But it was really good. They already confirmed the second half that comes out in the spring, I believe, of 2024. And the fight scenes in season 2 were really freaking good. It was a good season. The only downside was if you were a big fan of Oma, you wanted him to kick ass, you're probably gonna be disappointed with this season because he doesn't do that much outside the last season. So, I really want to talk about this show for a long time because I thought this was one of the most underrated animes of the summer. But the problem is this anime became a victim of indefinite delays. Zom 100, Bucket List of the Dead. This anime was really good. So what this anime is about is it follows Akira, who recently gets a job at this like office, and he was kind of like excited about it, but then ultimately it ends up being not the job that he wanted. They overwork their workers, like they have to work like almost 24/7. Their working conditions were absolutely abysmal, and he was like on the verge of just giving up on life when all of a sudden a zombie apocalypse happens. And you would think that when a normal person would see a zombie apocalypse, they freak out, but when he sees it, he ends up having like this incredible reaction, this incredible amount of happiness, because he's finally free. And let me tell you that scene was perfection. The animation in this anime is so damn good. And it's crazy because this is Bug Film's first anime. They're a new studio. We'll get to them in just a minute. And it looks amazing. Like the animation, everything about it looked incredible. So it was really cool for them. It was I can't talk right now. Great animation. Episode 2 introduces Shizuka, who she's like this workout chick, but has like a dark past. They kind of split up at first, but then she joins him later on. Then you have Akira's friend and Kencho, and then you have Beatrix, who is like this German girl obsessed with Japan. It's a really funny and awesome anime, but let's get to that Bug Film situation. Because it was their first anime, they ran into a lot of production issues. Literally just, I believe, 2 or 3 episodes into this anime, we immediately had a delay. Now, at first, they were saying that this delay had to do with this Special Olympics event that was happening in Japan, like some type of sporting event in Japan. But I was like, I don't believe that for a minute. I think when you're delaying an anime this early, I think it's production issues. Then we get another delay, I think around episode 5. Then I would say around episode 6 is we get the news. We get like 2 delays. We get episodes 8 and 9, and then episodes 10 through 12 have been delayed indefinitely. So that's what happened. After its 9th episode, this anime has been delayed indefinitely. Just like Nier, when Nier was delayed until July or 86. So it's unfortunate that this anime has all these anime production issues, which is ironic because a lot of people were speculating with that first episode. They were kind of taking a stab out of Studio Mappa. We'll get to them in a moment, of how they overworked their workers to death. So, but then here is Bug Films, a new studio, and their first anime is run into anime production issues. It's incredible. And I don't even know where when is episodes 10 through 12 gonna air. And I hate to say this, I wouldn't be surprised the show gets canceled, because it's been a complete disaster in terms of like the behind the scenes. So it's just unfortunate that a great anime like Zom 100 has all these issues. It's actually pretty embarrassing, you ask me. So, really just unfortunate that that happened. You know, hey, um, so the next anime I'm going to talk about is Mushoku Tensei Season 2. I'm going to be honest. I didn't really think the season was all that great. It was fine. It was okay, but it was very, very slow pace. There was not much action outside maybe like the first few episodes, like at the start of season 2. But after that, it was pretty much it, it was pretty much just kind of boring. So I just wasn't really a fan of Mushoku Tensei season 2 all that much. I hope the second half is better. Hey, what's up, JJ? Well, what it is that I plan to stream for a while. I just been talking about animes that I've been currently watching. Now I was talking about Kengan Ashura and all these other shows. So then the other one I saw was Devil is a Part Timer season 2. I don't know we're getting a third season, but the second half of season 2 was better than the first half, but not by much. Not by much at all. It was just whatever. So now I'm going to talk about the Rurouni Kenshin remake so far. Um, there are a lot of changes that they did. For one thing, I forgot about Onimusha. I gotta see it. So, um, I just lost my train of thought. What we were talking about? Oh, Rurouni Kenshin, right? Rurouni Kenshin remake. Sorry about that. It's more closer to the manga. As of right now, there has not been a single filler episode. And honestly, with the way everything is going, I think it's safe to say that it's going to end with Kenshin facing Saito. I think that's where they're heading for the end of season 2. No, I haven't mentioned Goblin Slayer yet. We'll get to that show in a moment. But the animation is very crisp, but there are some aspects of it that I actually prefer the 96 version. Like when you do the side by side, there are moments I prefer the remake, and there was moments I prefer the 96 version. That's just me. Now, I have a hot take with the remake. I get a lot of people love the original soundtrack, but I didn't think it fitted well, especially in the first season. Some of the action scenes kind of had those that jazzy music. It did not fit well, in my opinion. So I'll actually say that that's where the remake is better at, is the tone. I think the tone is much better here. Um, I just wish that maybe the music would have been a little bit more memorable, but it is what it is. But right, they also changed a little bit of the order. Like for example, episode 2, um, has Kenshin facing the police, and then episode 3 is where he meets Yahiko. You know, him and Yahiko meet. So unlike the 96 version, so there are a couple of differences, but overall, the remake has been really good. I'm just kind of curious. So I'm going to assume that it is going to end with him versus Saito. And that just catapults us right to the Kyoto arc. Yeah. Yeah, JJ. Alright, so now we're going to get to Rising of the Shield Hero Season 3. I was extremely, extremely worried about this anime. Well, this season, because after what happened with season 2 and how bad that season was, I had low expectations for season 3. Now, there were some good news that came out with season 3. For example, the director of season 3 was the one who directed the first 5 episodes of Shield Hero season 1. I think that's really good. So season 3 has came out, and we're almost at the halfway mark of this season. It's much better than season 2, but it's still not at the level of season 1. And I hate to say this, I'm starting to believe that Shield Hero peaked. I just think it peaked too early. Because the whole point of Shield Hero, especially with the first season, was him trying to clear his name and get revenge out of mine. Once he did that, it's like, where we go from here? You know what I'm saying? I think that's kind of the problem. It's like, once after he cleared his name, it became just a straightforward isekai show. I think that's basically the problem with Shield Hero, and it's just been very tough for it to kind of match the quality of season 1. It's like, what more can they really have done? So for this season, it starts out with Alphamy entering this tournament to free this this race of people from slavery. Well, basically bind them so that way they're free. The big story right now is that Motoyasu, the spear hero, him and Mine apparently broke up. Now Mine all of a sudden has the hots for Ren, the sword hero. Now, I'm not gonna lie, they kind of I mean, Motoyasu was always kind of like I wouldn't say a comedy character, but now they like really full force made him a comedy character. Like now he's like thirsty for philo. So what's going on right now is Ren is brainwashed by something. He's wearing this mask now, and all of a sudden he's like attacking Motoyasu. That's basically the main storyline right now. There hasn't been that much action, and that's not a good thing, because you need to win back the audience. You lost a good chunk of them last year with that terrible season 2. So while yes, season 3 is in the right direction, but you gotta win back the fan base fast. If not, it might be game, set, and match for Shield Hero. You might shut it down and hit the gavel on this. I think it might be over for them. So that's basically what's going on with Shield Hero. It's not bad. It's great. I mean, well, good. Better than season 2. I mean, it hasn't really did much to be better than season 2, but it's just not really great yet. So, very unfortunate. Alright, since JJ brought it up, let's talk about Goblin Slayer Season 2. I'm not gonna lie and say this. Goblin Slayer Season 2 has been whack. It's been dull. There really hasn't been a whole lot that's happened Season 2 other than the Wizard Boy. And now he's gone. He left after Episode 4. So they added this new character, this Wizard Boy. I'm glad that he was not staying with the main cast. And I'm also glad that they added some backstory to him, because if he was a main character, I would have immediately dropped that season. Because, oh my god, he was annoying as hell in the first 2 episodes. He will complain a lot. He thinks like he's this tough shit, but he's really not. And he is just insufferable. So, the reason why he acts like this, spoiler alert, he's the younger brother of the sister wizard that was with, what's her name? The main girl, but I kind of forget her name sometimes. Prestis. Do you all remember the very first episode where she was with all those rookie adventurers and they all got killed? It was the infamous first episode that that upset a lot of people. Well, he's the younger brother he's the younger brother. And so the big storyline was he doesn't know that Goblin Slayer killed her. And the reason why was because she was poisoned and she was in pain and she begged Goblin Slayer to kill her. They didn't really mention that. But the whole point of it was to get more Goblin Slayer character development. So like at the end of episode 2, he broke down. Like he actually broke down in tears. Because he's like, holy shit, he's the younger brother of the female wizard. And it's like, I killed her. So, but eventually they didn't really bring this up much. It was kind of like, hey, Krista. Yeah, pretty much. And it's like, by episode 4, he left because he wants to do his own quest. Now, for the next storyline, is the elf archer. Her sister is getting married and they have to go to this wedding, but now all of a sudden they have to face goblins. It's just weird. And honestly, I'm gonna say this right now about Goblin Slayer. Its first episode really, honestly, the show has an identity crisis. That's what I wanted to say. I feel like Goblin Slayer has a massive identity crisis. It doesn't know what the hell it wants to be. 1 minute, it wants to be this dark and gory anime, Goblin Slayer viciously killing goblins. The next minute, it's like this light-hearted fantasy show. It's like, make up your mind. What do you want to be? And I feel like that this issue came in the first season. And here, I feel like this issue is worse. It's like, what do you want to be? Because you won this big edgelord fan base after the first episode. Because everyone was like, oh yeah, this is what anime needs. Blood and gore, badassery, this is what we need. No more of this garbage cutesy crap. Get to episode 2, it was a lighthearted episode and you scared them all away. It's like, what is the end goal here? Like, what's the end goal? What are you guys gonna do with this whole tone problem? Because it's like, it's a very Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde show. It's anime. It's just 1 minute, it's this gore fest anime. The next minute, it's this lighthearted anime. Like, you have to pick a side. At least Demon Slayer could get away with it. But here it's like, y'all can't get away from it because y'all made it that tone in the first episode. I don't know, man. It just hasn't been all that great. And we're already about to be in the halfway mark of the season. And nothing has happened. Really. Pretty much. So, I don't know, man, about Goblin Slayer. I don't know. Dr. Stone Season 3 is back, and I've been really enjoying it. It's starting to get really, really good again. I love that anime. I love Dr. Stone. Oh, I don't know if I talked about this anime. Eminence in Shadow. Oh, I love this anime so much. I love this anime so much. Because it's so random, it's so funny, and it's a different type of isekai anime. It's so crazy. So, what this anime is about is this kid by the name of, well, I will say this teenager by the name of Sid Kagano. He wanted to be like this shadowy figure in the real life. So in the first episode, he like saves one of like this schoolgirl from a bunch of thieves. And he does it in a vicious way. And then all of a sudden, he gets killed by a truck. And then becomes an isekai show. So now he is the leader of this group. And it's called the Dark Garden or the Shadow Garden. Yeah, the Shadow Garden. And basically, he's like this unstoppable, like dark force guy. He's like the funniest thing about him. He's not a hero or an anti-hero. He wants to be like a person who's like a side character in the way. He wants to be like in the shadows, literally in the shadows. Like he wants to be like mediocre in a way. And so what it is that he makes this organization, and he said that his goal is to hunt down the cult of Diablos. But what's funny is it ends up being real, and they actually exist. It's a really funny. It's such a random show, dude. No joke when I say it's the second season, the end of season 2, episode 2. How that episode ended was one of the funniest things I've seen in anime in a long time. It was one of the first times in a while I generally laughed like super hard. Yeah, the Infinity Castle arc, but that's not until maybe next year. Tokyo Revengers, he killed another one. Dang. Oh, Tokyo Revengers. I can't believe it's been 2 years since I saw that show, and I just have no interest in seeing the second season. No interest because I heard how bad it ended. All right. So lastly, Jujutsu Kaisen season 2. I saved this for last because I have a lot to say about this season. First of all, it's really freaking amazing. From the prequel that shows Gojo's past, the first 5 episodes of those, and then right now with the Shibuya arc, which everyone says is one of the best arcs of the manga, and right now the anime has not failed. Almost every episode delivered. The only like episode that wasn't really all that good was Yuji find that grasshopper monster. That was terrible. Okay, that episode was not that good. But everything else has been amazing. Everything else has been great, from the animation, from the music, everything. Wonderful. There is one problem though with this season, and it's not even about the anime itself. It's the guys that are working on it, Studio Mappa. I'm glad that Attack on Titan has just ended, because that's one big anime they don't have to worry about. Because holy hell, the last couple of weeks has been a complete mess for Studio Mappa. Because during these episodes, and when workers see that some of them have not been pleased about the anime, they literally have mental breakdowns. And the reason why is because Studio Mappa is overworking them to death. It's incredible. So like, literally workers in Studio Mappa have gone to Twitter and have mental breakdowns. It's getting really, really ugly. Like it's beyond ugly right now in Studio Mappa. That's why when I made that post on Instagram, I said that while this has been an amazing season, there is a dark cloud surrounding it. And it makes me wonder, is this show gonna implode? Or the production of season 2 of Jujutsu Kaisen gonna implode? Because it's getting ugly in Studio Mappa. It really is. A lot of workers just struggling big time. Big time struggling mentally. And it's just unfortunate to see what they're going through right now. So, but Jujutsu Kaisen season 2 has been amazing. It's been a wonderful, wonderful season, but there is a dark cloud surrounding it. Yeah, they are. They really are. It's getting really ugly. So I'm glad that Attack on Titan has ended, because now they only have Jujutsu Kaisen working for now. Let me see what animes do they have next. Let me just check. And last but not least, I forgot about Ancient Magus' Bride Season 2. I will say this, the second half has been much better. The second half of Ancient Magus' Bride has been much better than the first half. The first half bored me to tears, but this one has actually been pretty good. So right now, so right now it's just Buchi Giri. I don't know what this is. What this is an original anime. Okay, and Hell's Paradise Season 2. So one thing I will say though is I hope. Oh, so Shichiro Watanabe, the man that made Cowboy Bebop, has a new anime called Lazarus, and it's supposedly going to air on Toonami. So it's coming out in January. Okay. I'll wait until it comes out later. But it's thankfully now they have a much needed break. Now they can breathe. Whatever happened to the Yuri on Ice film? That movie was announced back in 2017. They still have yet to they still yet to freaking have not made that movie or the Zombieland movie, and now my computer just froze on me. That's fine. Well, it's not a new no. What I mean is the guy who made Cowboy Bebop is making a new anime. And it will be airing on Toonami later. Oh, that reminds me. Oh my god. Fooly Cooly Grunge and Shuge, excuse me. Good God almighty, those seasons were terrible. So if you didn't know, Fooly Cooly came back. And I don't even know why, because it came back 5 years ago. So we all know about Fooly Cooly. It's this weird random anime that added a cult following. For some reason, they decided to make 2 sequels. And they weren't really all that good. Fooly Cooly Progressive was terrible. Alternative was okay. I felt like it was the one that tried the best to capture the magic of the first season. It didn't work, but it was okay. Fooly Cooly Grunge was horrible. Terrible. Horrendous. Dog shit. Massive fucking dumpster fire. It was a massive dumpster fire. The art style that they went with Fooly Cooly Grunge was horrible. I don't know why they did that art style. I have no idea why, but it looked terrible. I'm in disbelief on how bad that season was. And it was only 3 episodes. Both Grunge and Shoegaze were only 3 episodes. It was just no joke when I say this. Fooly Cooly Grunge might be one of the worst animes I've seen since GBC. It was that bad. No joke. That bad. Shoegaze was a little bit better. It takes place 10 years after Alternative, but it still wasn't good. But there was one good news that came out. Because they saw how much of a dumpster fire these 2 seasons was, Adult Swim has confirmed they're no longer doing Fooly Cooly season. Thank God. We didn't ask for them, but thank God you won't be missed. In the words from the critic, and nothing of value was lost. Nothing in value was lost. What's up, TJ? I still haven't seen, no, did he? Let me see, hold on. No, okay. I thought he did Great Pretender. I actually have not seen that anime. I heard it was really good. Great Pretender. So, but by the way, Toonami at long last, they're finally airing the Mugen Train arc in Demon Slayer along with Dr. Stone Season 3. I still cannot believe they really aired the third season of Dr. Stone without airing the Ryusei OVA. So literally, they air season 3 when Ryusei is already introduced and they have the air balloon. Everyone who has not seen that OVA is like, who the hell is this guy? Where did they get the air balloon? I just don't get Toonami, man. Oh, Lord have mercy. But regardless, it is what it is. I think that's it as far as anime is concerned. Oh yeah, I saw Castlevania Nocturne. It was okay. Oh yeah, let me get to this anime. Now, I haven't seen it, but everyone is going crazy for this anime. Let me, go back to my anime list. And if you're wondering, no, we are not talking about the last episode of Attack on Titan because I haven't seen it yet. Oh, Spy Family Season 2 has been really good so far. Can't believe I forgot about Spy Family. But it's been really good. And now we're finally getting to the arc that focuses on Yor more. Because I know a lot of people were disappointed that they haven't really focused on Yor all that much. People want more Assassin Yor. You're finally getting it. The Cruiser arc. This is the arc that focuses on Yor and her being an assassin. And everyone says that it's the arc that really saved her character from being useless. Hey, what's up, Ron? How you doing? It's called Free Ren, Beyond Journey's End. This anime, oh my god, everyone has been talking about how amazing this anime is. It's like, it's a fantasy anime, but I heard it's really good. It has a freaking 9.0 in my anime list. A 9 out of 10. So, I mean, I'll take a look at that anime later because I've just been swamped. The good news is this winter, I only have just 2 animes. 3 unless you want to count Freinen, because I know that anime is going to continue all the way to next year. Solo Leveling, which I'm looking forward to, but it's A1 Pictures. I'm a little concerned about them, how they handled the Nier Automata anime, Autonoma anime, excuse me. And Class of the Elite Season 3. It was supposed to came out this year, but it was delayed. And that's really it. Those are like the only 2 animes I give a damn about. And Metallic Root. Oh wow, this anime actually looks kind of dope. Metallic Rogue, and it's to honor the 25th anniversary of Studio Bones. Let me make sure I mute this. Actually looks kind of dope. Okay, that anime could be like the hidden gem. So we'll see. Alright, let me take a look at the winter. Excuse me, the spring. All I know is, all I know is, Reincarnated as a Slime is coming back in spring. Let me check. Yeah, and Mushoku Tensei. Kaiju 8. That's still really weird. Windbreaker. Yeah, there's really nothing right now. This in spring. So yeah. So we'll see. Fire Force season. God, when is this anime coming out? That was announced back in 2021. We still have yet to know when the hell is this anime coming out. Is it ever coming out? So it's someone said early 2025 is gonna take them a half decade. Damn. Oh man. Under Ninja. I heard that anime was pretty mediocre so far. Seven. God, what a fall from grace of Seven Deadly Sins. That anime at one time was so well received. Now it's getting destroyed. Now it's just dead. Free. It's called. Oh, I'll type it. Oh yeah, that it's gonna be one. Yeah, it's one of those animes. It's called Freinen. Oh, I might be misspelled. I might be mispronouncing it. That's what it's called. I've already been live for almost an hour. Holy hell. So that's anime so far. That's what I thought about anime. Hokkaido Girl. Oh yeah, Hokkaido Girls are super adorable.
I've just gotten to a point in life.
Yeah. So I guess I'm going to talk about the Texas Rangers winning their first ever World Series. There's actually a lot to talk about that World Series, and I'll get to that in a moment. But I know that probably some people probably thought it was weird to me to like scream like crazy when the Texas Rangers won the World Series, even though I'm not a Rangers fan. Let me explain the reason. This is Texas' first ever World Series. I mean, first ever. It's the Rangers' first ever World Series title in their 63-year franchise history. I mean, 62-year franchise history. Um, they used to been the new version of the Washington Senators, but when it didn't work out so well, they moved them to Texas. And when that happened, it caused a riot. At the final game, they had to cancel the game because fans charged into the field. So, for a good while, the Rangers were mediocre. They were a mediocre franchise, but then in the 1990s, they started to get good. But they still quite didn't have the talent to get them to the World Series. In 2010, they finally got to the World Series. but they lost to the Giants. However, though, they made it back the very next year. They faced the Cardinals. Now, in that World Series, in Game 6, if you follow baseball, you know what happens. But for those who don't follow baseball, I'll tell you. In that World Series, in Game 6, the Texas Rangers were one strike away. One strike away of winning the World Series. All they had to do was strike out David Freese for the Cardinals. So if David Freese strikes out, they win the World Series. Runners at first and second, I believe, for the Cardinals, or second and third. I don't remember. David Freese hits a ball, and it looked like that Nelson Cruz might have had it. Looked like he's gonna get it. He miscalculates it, and it hits the wall. 2-run RBI triple. Game was tied in the 9th inning. We go to the 10th. Hamilton from the Rangers hits a 2-run homer. 9-7 Texas. However, though, Rangers bullpen hasn't been all that good in this series. Cardinals get 1 run. It's 9-8. Yet again, down to their final strike. Pujols, I believe, is in second. Berkman hits an RBI single. Tie ball game. David Freese, who hit the 2-run triple, walks it off in the 11th inning. Game 7, Rangers lost that Game 7, lost the World Series. So, and then they had heartbreak after heartbreak after heartbreak. In 2015, they were up 2-0 against the Blue Jays in the division series. They blew the lead, and Jose Bautista hits the most famous bat flip 3-run homer you're ever going to see. They get swept by the Blue Jays in 2016, and they missed the playoffs for the next 7 years. 2 years ago, they lost 100 games. They were atrocious. So this year, they get Corey Seager, they get Marcus Semien, they get a bunch of talent. But there was one key figure that came with this Rangers team. Bruce Bochy. He was the manager of the Giants, the team that they lost in 2010, and got them to win 3 World Series for the Giants. They get to the playoffs. But the crazy thing about the Rangers this year was they led their division the whole year until the last week of the season. They collapsed, and because Houston beat them so many times in the season, they had the tiebreaker. Houston won their division. Texas wins the wild card. They first had to face the Rays, a team that won 99 games. They swept them. Rangers swept them. Then they faced a 104-win Orioles. I think it was a 102-win Orioles team. They swept the Orioles. Then we get to the Astros. I thought when Houston won Game 5, I thought that series was over because of how the Rangers lost that game. They were up 4-2. Jose Altuve hits a 3-run homer. Rangers lose that game. They won the first 2 in Houston. Then they lost 3 in a row to the Astros in their own home park. They come back to Houston and they win Game 6 and 7. And they beat the Astros. I was stunned. I couldn't believe they won that series. Then their opponent was the Diamondbacks, which was surreal because the Diamondbacks barely got to the playoffs. The Cubs had that wild card spot for over a month and they imploded. They get the 6th spot, they sweep the Brewers, and then they swept the Dodgers because the Dodgers pitching was banged up. And then they beat the Phillies in 7 games. I couldn't believe they beat Philly. Let alone they beat Philly in Citizens Bank Park. Braves, of course, they collapse against Philly because they can't beat Philly in the playoffs. Who else was in? The Marlins were in the playoffs. They got swept. I couldn't believe Arizona won that series. And honestly, every Arizona fan should be a Craig Kimbrell fan because he's the reason why y'all won that series. Because he blew game 3 for the Phillies and he blew game 4 for the Phillies. Phillies were up 5-2 in game 4. Had they won that game, they would have won to the World Series. But it didn't happen. Arizona goes to the World Series, and the Rangers, they had a thrilling game 1. They beat Arizona 6-5 in extras. That game was amazing, but unfortunately, not so much the rest of the World Series. Arizona blows them out in game 2, and then Texas wins game 3, game 4, and when we get to that game 5, Texas, 12 years ago, 1 strike away. Rangers yet again, 1 strike away. This time they won. They beat the Diamondbacks 5-0, and they won their first ever title. All I gotta say is Arlington, they better build that Bruce Bochy statue. Because this man is unbelievable as a manager. Unbelievable. And I was just so happy for them to win the World Series. I mean, there's videos of Rangers fans in tears of them finally winning it. Because they were so close of winning that first ever title. They were just so close of winning that title. And they lost it. But now at long last, they finally won it. It was an amazing story. Unfortunately, the Rains did not like it because this was one of the worst rated World Series in a long time. Game 1 only did 8 million. And that's unfortunate because that game was great. But the rest of the World Series was not so much. A lot of people were saying that it's one of the worst World Series ever. I disagree on that. I mean, Game 1 alone made it at least an okay World Series. If you want like a really bad World Series, watch the 2007 World Series between the Red Sox and the Rockies. Now that one was horrible. And the Giants versus the Tigers in 2012 was really bad. Alright, so very happy for the Texas Rangers. But it was kind of a lackluster World Series. What is the best Gundam series? I have a confession. I have never really seen the Gundam series outside of this prequel to the original Gundam series. I have yet to see a Gundam series. I tried to get into Iron-Blooded Orphans, but I was just bored into tears. Did I watch Crown Jewel? I did, and I'm getting so annoyed with Roman Reigns, dude. It's the same. Look, I knew he was going to win. I knew he was going to win the match, but it's the same match again and again and again. Roman is in trouble. Bloodline interferes. The person he's facing almost wins the match. But then Roman Reigns performs a miracle and he wins the match. It's the same exact finish. Again and again and again and again. It's so repetitive. I'm going to be honest. I think, in my opinion, they regret Cody losing. I'm going to be honest. I think they regret that decision. They knew that they should have gave Cody the belt. It would have been predictable. Everyone would have saw it coming, but it was the right move, but they didn't do it. They wanted to pull a swerve to shock everyone, and now it's backfiring. Now they're stuck with Roman being champion yet again. I think it's going to be Cody versus Roman again. This time Cody wins. But I think the damage is done. I think the damage is done, man. David Flair should dethrone Roman. Yeah. The only one that I can think of is either Cody Rhodes or Gunther. I think in my opinion, it should be Gunther. But if Gunther is going to do it, he should be Intercontinental Champion still. And we have an Intercontinental Champion versus the Undisputed Champion. First time that's happened in 34 years since WrestleMania 6. I think that's what they're doing. I think they're gonna drag the Judgment Day a little bit until the Royal Rumble. Now I think, but the problem is who's gonna win the Royal Rumble? Is it gonna be Cody Rhodes again, or it's okay? If Gunther wins, he's probably gonna face whoever is the World Heavyweight Championship. It could be him versus Drew McIntyre. I think Drew is going to join the Judgment Day. Excuse me. The Judgment Day. But I just don't know, man. LA Knight, I already know what they're going to do with LA Knight. He's going to be U.S. champion. I think the reason that Logan Paul is U.S. champ now is so he could drop into LA Knight. I think they're going to have a feud, and LA Knight wins either in Survivor Series or the final pay-per-view in December. I think that'll be it. He might win the Rumble. That's true. LA Knight might win the Rumble. But now if that happens, that's going to be odd. So then, are they really going to do LA Knight versus Roman? And LA Knight's going to be the one to beat Roman? Maybe they will build him up. Who knows? I mean, the Royal Rumble is 2 months away, so we'll see what happens. I can't believe the Royal Rumble is already 2 months away. Damn, man. What is there to talk about? The reason why, oh yeah, Rey Mysterio's probably going to get his rematch, but I think one of the people in LWO is going to turn heel. Because I forgot who it was that had the brass knuckles. He literally had them in his hand. He could have put them in his pants. Instead, he accidentally, leaves them in the ring. And that's how Logan Paul beat Rey Mysterio. It's like, why didn't you just put it in your pocket? I think if not, then he's the biggest moron in the world. But if he did that on purpose, then that's setting up the heel turn. Then it made sense why he did it. So, and by the way, I did went to Raw. Raw happened in my town. In my city on Monday. And I had a great time. It was the first Raw I went to since the one back at the end of 2019. Oh my God. That one was real bad. But the Raw I went to Monday was really good. I had a lot of fun with my brother that time around. So I had a good time going to Raw this time around. Just checking on something. Fighttober. So, no wait, I haven't been to Raw since 2002. Could have gone in 2005, but didn't make it. No wait, my first and only Raw was in '98. 2002 was a house show. Oh, okay. Oh, okay, February '98. What do you think about Nasty Shit Fan? What a weird name. What do you think about Ric Flair signing with AEW? I actually want to talk about that now, actually. And thank you for reminding me of that, since we're talking about wrestling. I retweeted this, and I'm going to be honest, I agree with what this person said about AEW. AEW, when it first started, was WWE NXT on steroids. That's basically what it was. A lot of young talent, great matches, great wrestlers. And then all of a sudden, they start signing all these old wrestlers. Like Sting, which is fine. Christian, Edge, The Big Show, Mark Henry, and now Ric Flair? Like, what the hell? You know, and what the tweet said was AEW was like it's NXT on steroids. Now it's basically TNA early 2010. And when I really thought about that, I'm like, holy shit, this guy is correct. That's basically what this is. It's TNA in its worst days when they had Hulk Hogan and he brought all his friends like Eric Bischoff and them. They got rid of the 6-sided ring and made it into the 4-sided ring, and for some reason got pissed when fans wanted the 6-sided ring again. He's supposed to be the babyface and he talked shit about the fans. Brought all these old WCW wrestlers back, and they became the focal point of TNA, and a lot of people got sick of it. Here, I think that's what's going on here. It's like they're adding all these old ass wrestlers, and it's like TNA all over again. And it's like, and outside of MJF and maybe Bryan Danielson and John Moxley, really, I'm getting tired of him. All he does is just do death matches and things like that. It's not been that great. I've lost interest in AEW. To me, like, AEW's kind of like downhillness started in that infamous All Out 2022 show. The one where CM Punk and Kenny Omega and them had like an actual legit backstage fight. And then CM Punk had like that infamous conference with Tony Khan. I mean, like, it's just been a mess. AEW Collision has been pretty rough because CM Punk is gone now. And a lot of fans have been tuning out on AEW. There's been videos of when they do an AEW event, there's a lot of empty chairs. I think what he means is haven't been in a wrestling event. That's what he means, Ron. But I feel like that the big problem with AEW has been they're trying too hard to cater to the hardcore fans, and they're not focusing on the casual fans. And let me explain what I mean. WWE, for the longest time, has been bad. Now that they're starting to get a little bit better. A little bit. Now that Vince is kind of pretty much out of the picture, it's getting a little bit better. But, like, for the longest time, like, in the dark ages of the PG era in WWE, they were getting low ratings and not many fans. But the reason why they survived for such a long time is because they still cater to casuals. They still get casuals fans from, checking in WWE. With AEW, I just think that they're focusing too much on hardcores, that they're not really getting any casual fans. And I think because of that, AEW is suffering now. Really suffering from this. So, I don't know, man. I'm not saying AEW is going under, but it's not looking good right now for AEW. I'm going to be perfectly honest. It hasn't been looking all that good. Their video game kind of bombed as well. Yeah. When he was in NXT, though, he was damn near perfect. Kari Sane, Kari Sane is back. So that's cool. But that's basically my thoughts on the whole Ric Flair signing with AEW. It's just been... Ugh. I saw the Five Nights at Freddy movie on Peacock. It was alright. Wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. It was just okay. So now... time to show you guys this. I'll show you more in depth with my Game Boy video that I'm planning to do. This is my modded teal Game Boy Color. Now, it's I have a much better screen lens now. The only thing I don't like about this screen lens is like the coloring is a little off. It's a little bit more darker, and you can kind of tell that this is like a really not an authentic Game Boy Color lens. So there you go. It's backlit. So it's really cool that now I have two. This is, of course, my very first mono Game Boy Color. So there's the green one. And also I have, of course, I love this thing so much, the backlit DMG Game Boy. So, which I love so much. Dark Days went in 2005. Interesting. Oh, 2009. So that was the last time you went to watching a live wrestling match in a stadium. Yeah, thank you very much, P-Dub. I'm just so happy with these modded Game Boy Colors. Some people think that it ruins like the mystique, you know, like the original, like the authenticness of the Game Boy Color. But it's like, bruh, first of all, you're still playing the cartridges like that. And number two, you can't go back to the stock Game Boy Color screens. You can't do that. It's almost impossible. Last event I went to was TLC 2016. Oh, I remember that pay-per-view. That was the one with AJ Styles accidentally ripping his pants. And the one where James Ellsworth costed Dean Ambrose the championship. I remember that one. That was actually when SmackDown was really good. That year. Oh, that's cool, Joshua. Atari links benefits from screen mods too. Oh yeah, and the Game Gear. But the only problem is the only way to really do a Game Gear backlit mod like a Game Boy Color is you have to solder. There is one for the links that you don't actually have to solder, but it's only for the Model 2 links. If you have a Model 1, you have to solder. So, but it's very expensive though. I remember the last time I checked, it was like $70. So I've been streaming for about an hour and 13 minutes. It's actually been going by really fast. Do you guys have any questions? Let me know and I'll answer them. Mm-hmm. Do you smell what the Rock is cooking? Did you see my WrestleMania 2000 stream, Ron? Yeah, it was a good show. That was a pretty solid pay-per-view. And I believe in a few days, we get the Game Awards nominations. Oh boy, that's gonna be fun. I don't know why I'm getting drowsy. I gotta stay awake because I want to watch the last episode of Attack on Titan. Did you see Shaq dressed up as Jimmy Butler? Oh no, you haven't. Oh, it's still there. My Hawks are doing good after had that awful first two games. They've won 4 in a row, so that's good. Ooh, the Jaguars play the 49ers tomorrow. Oh, that could be a tough one. Best matches of 2004. Chris Benoit was, yeah, that was a very good match. That's sadly never going to be acknowledged by WWE. For right reasons, though. Much. Why is he a turtle now? Philly Fisto. How many subs is he at now? Fatal Mephisto. 813. I really wish he gets 1,000, man. Yeah, I know. Oh yeah, there was actually some sad news that kind of happened, and well, I want to kind of talk about it. Um, I found out a few days ago that Rambo Tweety 1 passed away. Now, I'm gonna say this right now that probably no one knows who he is. He was a guy that I known back in my commentary community days. We're going way back to 2011, fellas. Um, and I remember that he was the father of RJ Bansma. And I remember this because when I was in the commentary community, there was drama related to the commentary community and RJ Bansma over the false flagging. Rambo 21 was is the father of RJ, and he took our side, but then eventually everything gets patched up. And I known him for a good couple of years. I followed him, I think, since like 2012 to 2013. And so it's unfortunate that I heard that he passed away. So that really sucks, because I remember him from the commentary community days. We used to talk about video games and things like that. So that's just unfortunate. Another piece of news is that Loquito's 5 now. On Halloween was his birthday. He's officially 5 years old now. So that's awesome. I think I might stop it at the hour and a half mark. I don't know if we're gonna reach 2 hours. I don't think we're gonna do that. But I just wanted to do like a chill stream like this because I haven't done one in a long time. Yeah, thank you very much, Pete. I appreciate that. Does anyone have a couple more questions? Because I'm trying to stretch this to at least an hour and a half. See what's trending on WrestleMania. Why is that trending on Twitter? Dylan Brooks. Why is he? Oh God! Why is Dylan Brooks trending again? What did he do now? So it's Crown Jewel is gonna be like a WrestleMania, the WrestleMania 27. Let me see. Dylan Brooks. Why is he trending on Twitter? What the hell? Oh, damn. The Memphis Grizzlies are 0-6? Dylan Brooks, 26 points? Okay. Holy shit. The Grizzlies are 0-6 now? Wow, they are bad without Morant. Which PS5 game? Which PS5 game should I get next? I don't know. Anyone that interests you. Spider-Man 2. I need to play Dynasty Warriors 7. I still gotta do that on my PS3. I actually need to play the Resident Evil 4 separate ways. I still gotta do that. What's up, Elite? My buddy and I got into a fight about AEW Fight Forever. He says it's the funnest wrestling game he's ever played. And I said I'd rather play WWF Steel Cage on NES. Was I wrong for that? I mean, I haven't played that game for myself. Trip World for Game Boy? Oh, this game is short as hell. It's only a 20-minute game. Damn, it looks really good for a 16 for a Game Boy game. I guess I'll go. Let me go download the ROM. wow. They are 0-6. Dude, they might tank right now. The Lakers really ended your franchise. The Lakers really really ended your franchise. Honestly, it's more of Ja Morant that ended his franchise. Can't wait till Ja Morant. Dude, he ain't gonna be back until like in January because he's been suspended for 25 games. Dude, honestly, I think they're gonna tank this year.
Is something burning?
Man, that's crazy. Holy hell, they were real bad. Tekken 8 is a must-have. Oh yeah. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, at this point, they might as well just tank. When you're 0-6, there's a good chance your season's done. But then again, the Lakers were 2-10 and they got to the conference finals. Oh, so it was only released in Japan. So we never got it. Okay. So that's a game that really the only way to really some car was just swerving just now. Oh, they actually did a reproduction, but for $40. Ugh. Still think that's a little too much for a game that I could beat in 20 damn minutes. Let me just quickly download this. I think the last fighting game I played was Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Oh yeah, I can't wait for Tekken 8. That game is gonna be amazing. Too bad that it didn't come out this year though. Would have been amazing. We had Street Fighter 6 versus Mortal Kombat 1 versus Tekken 8. But I guess it just wasn't meant to be. Let me get my Vita so I can download this game. Ugh. Excuse me. So we're almost at the. They will wait for the Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat hype to die down. Yeah, pretty much. They didn't want to get that smoke. They didn't want to get that smoke. Oh, oh, oh. Alright, guys. Well, it's been an hour and a half. So I think I'll end it here. So thank you guys. Namco got them a stable. They ain't going to be competing with rival. Yeah, that's true. But anyways, guys, thank you for being here. I really appreciate doing this like chill stream, anime talk. Thank you, JJ, Elite, P-Dub, Ron, Joshua, Krista, Welch, and Let's Talk About Movies and Stuff. Trip World God, Japan, and your release takes about 1 hour to complete. Okay. Alright, but anyways, guys, thank you guys for watching, and take it easy. Video Game Lover 58, sign out. Peace.